sure?
I'm 100% sure.
Okay.
In fact, I am, as I responded to your question, which I could only have done if I had heard you. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Now I do.
Dent.
Gotta pop out the chat.
Oh my gosh.
We're ready to go?
Oh, are we?
Are we?
Are we?
I don't know. That's why I asked you.
A fliddly-doo and a fliddly-dee. Hey, talking about you and talking about me.
Squibbly flabbly doo.
Ski bop skadoodly bop ba-da-dee-doo-dee-dee. Skiddly ba-da-doodly dolly bop boop pow.
Quite the scat man.
Scoodow. They call me Crothers because I'm such a scat man.
I guess so.
Huh. For some reason, what is this? Is this 683? 3. That is not showing up on my
Give it a minute.
YouTube.
Well, somebody's in the chat.
Yep.
So,
well, taint me.
Happening. It's not you, but
twerk me.
Somebody's here.
Taint
misbehaving. Ah, there it is.
There it is.
Whoop, there it is. Whoop, there it is. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
No. Explain it.
I'm saying, whoop, there it is.
As you would
whoop,
a child.
There it is. Whoop, everyone. Whoop, look at me. Who let their dogs out? Hey, 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 hey. Who let their dogs out? What? I said a hip, hop, a hip,
hip, hop, you don't stop.
Hip, and a hippity hop, and hip hop. You know what?
Hello and welcome to episode 683 of the Player One podcast for Tuesday, December 10th, 2019. I'm your host, Chris Johnston, and with me from the North Pole of Canada, Mr. Greg Seward.
Feels like it.
Okay, cold up there?
I'm just turning off my heater so there's no noise.
Oh, wow.
Oh, there you go.
That's what I do for this show. My children freeze so that this show can sound good.
It's going to look like Jack Nicholson at the end of The Shining by the end of the show.
Yes.
Yeah, it's been cold. It's been cold.
I see. And joining me from the great state of Washington, Mr. Phil Theobald.
Hey, how you doing?
Pretty good.
How you doing?
Hey.
Rocking,
Rocking
and rolling.
I feel like I just podcasted with you folks like yesterday.
Hours on end.
Seagulls poke at my head. Not fun.
I said seagulls. Stop it
now. My kids love that song.
Oh my god. Anyway,
come on, man, quit that banging.
This is our last live show, last regular show of the year.
Forever.
We're recording.
Shut it down forever.
Shut it all down.
Shut it all down.
Hey,
stuff.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Shut it down. Shut it all down.
Yeah.
What is that from?
I don't know, but shut it down forever is from Dark City.
Okay.
I thought it was like Ghostbusters.
Is it?
I don't know.
Shut it down.
Yeah.
Shut it all down. Really?
Maybe.
When
I have no idea.
Walter Peck is yelling for them to shut off the power grid.
Maybe.
I
don't remember.
I don't
We don't. This is a reference we don't know.
This is
from. We know it's a reference.
Yeah, because
amazing radio.
Well, because it's one of those things. Because at work, me and some of the fellas at work say that all the time as well.
Some of the fellas,
because we're always shutting stuff down at work. So
yeah,
we're always yelling, "Shut it down! Shut it all down!" And
yeah,
every time we stop and think, "What is that from?" And
there are a lot of great 30 Rock gifts that are "Shut it down."
But is it followed by "Shut it all down"?
No.
Well, then that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for "Shut it down."
I know.
Pause.
Is this not from Galaxy Quest or The Simpsons?
I don't know. That's the problem.
Movies that we all refer to.
I don't know. If anyone knows where
Oh,
shut
there
it
it
down.
is.
What?
Somebody in the chat says C3PO
Oh,
tells
yeah, the
R2 in Star
garbage
Wars to
smasher.
shut down the compactor.
Is that the exact
But it's
quote? Though?
just,
Shut
they're
it
saying
down.
shut
it
them
all
all
down.
down.
Shut
I
them
think is
all
what he says.
down. Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know.
Possible Star Wars reference.
You know what, Phil?
Maybe it is. Yeah.
Make that your New Year's resolution, 2020. Figure out where that's from.
I will watch every
Figure
piece
it
of
out.
media ever produced until I
Okay.
find what that is from. I'm going to start at the beginning.
You know what you should do? You should start a podcast for the search.
Oh, the search.
I'll
The
bet you
search-
people would listen.
Search for this quote.
The search for shut it down, shut it all down. Today we are watching The Jazz Singer, the first talkie. We're going to find out if it originated there. Join me on our sequential.
Was it
Trip.
in Walt Disney's classic Snow White and the Seven Dwarves?
It was not.
Damn.
It was not. The
Next
famous
episode.
Whistle while you work is a phrase you may have heard. That originated from Snow White, but not shut it down, shut it all down. Join us next week. We'll be listening to a bunch of old Burns.
That's
and
episode 1 in the
Gracie.
can.
Yeah.
That's done. Yeah.
Oh boy.
I hear people like short podcasts, so
Well,
I don't know. Anyway, so yeah,
Yeah.
we're pre-recorded a bunch of podcasts because I'm not going to be here for the next 2 weeks. I'm leaving on a jet plane.
don't
Vacation.
know
Oh,
when you'll
I'll
be back again.
I do know when I'll be back again, though.
Oh.
That's the thing.
We know when we'll be back again
CJ's leaving on a jet plane.
Yeah.
He already
when
booked
he'll
his
be
flight back because it's
again.
cheaper if you book
That's
both
not
tickets
how-
at
yes, you're not-
once.
No,
That's not how that goes. But I'm going to South Africa
nice.
for a safari vacation. Yeah.
You took the plane
Safari-
down to
safari-
Africa.
Safari vacation, safarication.
Safarication, yeah, because it's summer down there, and won't be as.
So we
That's how the
had to
planet works.
record
Cold.
Lots of
Yeah.
podcasts yesterday.
We did. We
So
recorded
you're the
two-
reason we sat here for 5 hours yesterday.
It was only 4.5.
It was 5.
Yeah,
Okay, fine, 5.
yeah.
But
Felt like 10.
those are some good episodes that people get to listen to on the 24th and 31st. And I set it up so that the live stream version of it goes to YouTube the normal time. So
None of us will probably be in the chat,
We probably won't be in the chat though. So, but
No.
you'll have fun watching it, maybe.
especially the 24th.
Yeah, but I've never been on a sort of safari thing. I have no idea what to expect. I got a bunch of vaccinations.
Your best friend Mike's best friend Jim has been.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe I should talk to him.
Sure.
And had to get some malaria medicine, which
Ooh.
when you get a prescription for malaria meds,
Mhm.
you just pick it up at Walgreens, just the local Walgreens.
What do you think? There's a special
Yeah.
safari medicine store?
I don't know.
I figured if now that I'm part of the safari going elite, they'd send me to
Mhm.
Walgreens Gold.
Yeah.
Did you rename your wife Kitty? Are you going to call her Kitty now on with a really
No,
fake British
no,
accent?
No.
No.
So my wife's
Yeah,
best friend,
CJ, be honest. How many animals are you going to shoot while you're there?
0.
Mm.
Unless you're talking about a photograph on iPhone, and then many.
Oh, taking the good camera. Gonna really capture those moments
Right.
in as high a quality as possible. I mean, this is a once in a lifetime kind
lifetime
of
Have you
event.
seen the pictures from the new iPhones? They're pretty nice.
They're pretty nice,
Yeah,
actually.
No, it's great.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
so yeah, my wife's best friend turned 40 years
Mike.
old this year, and she wanted to do like a big group trip
And she wanted to
for
kill
her
an elephant.
birthday. So maybe that's part of her plan to get us
Yeah,
all over
so-
there to watch.
If there's no head mounted on her wall by the end of 2019, she's going to consider
be
her
weird.
30s a complete
That would
failure.
be weird. I just wanted to get my friends together
I'm
to
coming
watch
home
me
with ivory shoes,
possible.
and you're
Possible.
gonna
But
watch.
So we're going. I wouldn't
I
necessarily
need
be
accomplices.
my first choice for safari vacation. Wouldn't be my first choice, but
Where would you rather
I'm-
go in safari?
where would I rather go on vacation?
Yeah.
Oh, well, you said safari vacation. So
Well, just vacation in general. Yeah,
So what do you hate? Animals, the outdoors.
all that.
Africa, CJ?
No,
Hmm?
I've never been to Africa. This will be
Well, then
the
how
new
do you
thing.
know? How do you
I
know
don't
you hate
know.
it
That's
then?
why I'm going. I don't know that I hate
I'll
it.
bet you
Yeah.
people who live in countries in Africa hate it when people just refer to it as going to Africa.
Oh, I'm absolutely
Probably.
sure they
It's
do.
a pretty gigantic continent. There's a lot of countries
That's
there.
true. There are a lot of countries there. Yes. But
Name-
it'll be fun.
Name
So
3.
we pre-recorded a bunch of podcasts, and hopefully I'll make
Look
it
at him
out
dodge
of
that.
my safari vacation alive to record
South
more
Africa,
episodes.
Ethiopia, and Zimbabwe.
Come on. You got Egypt. That's an easy one. You know?
Yeah.
You got Madagascar. There's another easy one. You got
That's
Libya.
not on the continent though. It's an island.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's not part of the continent?
No.
How's that work?
So England is not part of Europe?
Nope.
Hawaii is not part of.
Just ask them; they'll tell you. 49% of them will tell you they're not part of Europe.
Oh, there you go. Madagascar. Madagascar. The Madagascar people
Oh, I get it.
wanting to
I get it. Yeah.
Brexit.
There you go.
You see, they're
I get it now.
Madagascar. Casablanca.
So, yeah.
Did you ever see that movie, The Casablancas?
I have seen that.
That's
No.
That's set in Africa. The
I'm gonna watch that
continent
right
is.
after I watch Spinal Tap.
I
Imagine
wonder.
my vacation is going to be exactly like Casablanca.
Reek, shut it down. Shut it all down, Reek. Oh, it might be
No.
from Casablanca.
Oh, episode 3 of your podcast. Casablanca. Is it in here? Answer: nope. We
You know what's
continue the search next week.
Interesting about that is he doesn't say shut it down again, Sam. He just says shut it down, Sam.
Oh, I
That's
see.
a
Yeah.
common misconception. It's a commonly misquoted movie quote.
Okay.
The character
Should we talk about
Rick
video games now? Are we done?
he just says play it, Sam. He doesn't say play it again, Sam. We
That
don't
is
know if
yes,
Sam's
that's
ever played
true.
it before. So
Good point.
yeah.
Very good.
It's like how everyone thinks Darth Vader says, Luke, I am your father. But he doesn't.
No.
He
What does
says
he say?
no. He says, no, I am your father.
Says
He
no.
says, no, I am your father.
That's not.
I
what
mean, he
Darth
doesn't
Vader
say it
sounded
like
at
that.
all.
That's not what Darth Vader sounds like.
No. Here. No. Wait, Simba. No. I am your father.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, he is. He is your father. That's Sheev Palpatine, the emperor.
Okay.
He comes in and reaffirms what Darth Vader has said.
I see.
Yeah.
Phil,
Did you see that movie, The Star Wars?
I did. Your friend Ryan Reynolds put out a new trailer for a movie called
Yeah.
Free Guy.
Free Guy. Yeah. I was talking to Ryan the other day, and he
You're
was
like,
saying,
hey, I got an idea for a movie.
I was like, let me pitch this to you, and he was like, I love it. Let me cobble together a trailer for you, and we'll see how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
Did you watch that the trailer for The Free Guy?
I did watch the trailer. Yes.
No, I haven't watched that yet.
Do you know what it's about?
Yes,
Okay.
What is it about, Greg? Tell us.
he's a guy in a video game.
Boy, that sounds
His
condescending.
character in a video. Yeah, that was.
Go ahead. Tell us what it's about, tough guy.
Then tell us what it's about.
You think you're so big.
Let's talk about this before I go on safari.
Make it quick, though. The good Walgreens is only open till 7.
Exactly.
Where
exactly.
did you think medicine?
I don't know.
Did you think there was some sort of elitist?
Just that they would have it on hand.
That the rich people
It's a
would let
little
you use the
strange.
real medicine now that
It's a
you're going on
little
safari.
strange. You can have your malaria medicine. Just
Someone's in the placebo group.
Driver, take me to CVS Plus.
God.
My,
Anyway, so
my
yeah,
GPS
Ryan
doesn't
Reynolds.
seem to be working right now. Yep,
Ryan,
that's by
Ryan
design.
Reynolds,
Ryan Reynolds,
famous Hollywood actor. Ryan Reynolds,
famous Hollywood actor, is
famous
British
Canadian.
British Columbian actor.
NPC in a video game, and he then realizes this and has some adventures.
He's an
That's what I take from the trailer.
NPC.
An NPC.
He's an
Yeah.
NPC who decides to become a main character.
Yeah.
He decides he
So
wants
it's
out.
so it's the Emoji Movie with people.
Maybe.
Have you? I have not seen.
Have you
the
seen
Emoji
that movie?
I've seen that movie at least 3 times.
Ooh.
Oh, and it's as painful as you're thinking it is.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah.
Are you getting your
Yikes.
kids some taste for Christmas?
Ooh.
Oh man, is that what the Emoji Movie's about?
Not really.
He doesn't.
Could have made him believe anything.
Yes, I mean yes, it is.
Oh, okay. He doesn't want to be an emoji
No,
anymore.
it's because he's a certain type of emoji. He's a meh.
Oh, okay.
And he wants to be he wants to be something else. He doesn't just want to be a meh.
He has more feelings.
Yeah.
So
Actually, no, I'm wrong about that. He
Oh.
wants to be a meh. He is a meh. He wants to be good at his job, but he can't contain his other emotions. So really, it has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
So is he like? So he's like a Vulcan. He's like Spock.
So what you're saying is it's more like the Trolls movie.
Yeah, it is. That's another movie I've seen a lot of.
Is that? Well, that movie's about like music,
Trolls.
right? Like the trolls want to have music.
It's about Justin
No,
Timberlake.
the trolls are very
And-
musical, but it's about Justin Timberlake's troll character not being musical.
Aren't there characters in that movie that eat the trolls?
Yes.
That's grim.
And
man.
really interesting use of a Gorillaz song when you first get to that scene.
the
Their
the,
town.
the
Clint
the
Eastwood, I
band,
think it is. Yeah.
the
The song is Clint Eastwood, I think, right?
right
Yeah.
boy, I know how that song goes.
I'm happy.
I'm
Feeling
feeling glad I got sunshine.
That's the
And
one.
yeah, that is
Yeah,
that one.
that one.
Okay, yeah, that's
The
Clint,
bad
that's Clint
guys
Eastwood.
drudge around this great dark area and just sort of chant
they're just
that
kinda
song,
like-
chant those lyrics.
Kind of grimly, I'm guessing. Look
Yeah.
at that.
Grimly, yeah.
I was
I get
thinking.
Grimly.
I must say,
I must say,
ooh.
man, who remembers the Ed Grimley cartoon show?
The mental misadventures of Ed Grimley.
Is that what it was called?
I think there was some
I remember
sort of
watching it.
there was some sort of adverb, a completely mental misadventures of Ed
It was
Grimley.
Martin
Something.
Short, right?
Oh yeah, it
Yeah,
was absolutely
Of
Martin Short.
course.
I must say,
I must say.
SCTV. It was SCTV character, right?
Yes.
Was he? Okay.
Yeah, Ed Grimley
I-
is an SCTV.
Well, I know. I believe he did it on Saturday Night Live back in the day, but I thought he originated it on SCTV.
Probably.
You might be right.
Probably
probably
says the Canadian. What a
Speaking
disgrace.
of, since we're completely off the rails now, Phil,
Oh,
have
yes.
you seen the movies that made us?
I've seen that it exists. I have not
You
watched it
need
yet.
to watch that.
I've watched
my
3
friend.
of those.
Oh, so good.
Really?
Yeah.
It even made me care about a story regarding Dirty Dancing, which I don't care about.
I know. That was one of the most interesting stories.
Yeah.
Because I'm still trying to get through all of the new toys that made us.
Oh, really?
Yes, because there's a
There's
new
not that many of them.
There's a new
on,
season of
man.
that.
there's a new season of toys that made. I watched
Yeah.
the Turtles and the Power Rangers toys.
So the
that
two you're
made
most
us.
interested in.
Well, I have no nostalgia for Power Rangers.
Yeah, I guess you wouldn't,
Me
right?
neither.
Because you're the same.
No,
I mean,
no.
we're a little bit too old for the Power Rangers.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
I
We're also Pokemon fans, so we're kind of old for that too. But
mean, I'm
Well.
I'm a little too into Kamen Rider 01 right now. So I mean, I'm certainly not that out of the Power Ranger demographic.
no,
but
exactly.
I did not watch Power Rangers back in the day, so I have
Fascinating
no
story though. That series, the toys that made it is such an amazing series, and
Yeah.
then they were doing the movies that made us. So yeah, it's Dirty Dancing, Ghostbusters,
Right.
Home Alone, and Die Hard.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And
Yeah.
so, and again, 2 of those 4 movies I do not care about, but the episodes.
Hold
are
on, let me
fantastic.
think here.
You
Let
go
me think.
ahead, go ahead and guess.
You don't care about
Which
Dirty
one?
Dancing, certainly.
Yeah.
Yep.
You do care about Die Hard.
Oh yeah,
And
watched
It's
it twice
Home-
today.
Home Alone, and what was the other one?
Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters.
Oh, you don't care about Home Alone.
no,
Yeah, me neither. But that too is a really interesting story.
they all are.
Yeah. Is
No,
I-
the format, the toys that made us format translates really well to telling the story of the way those
Okay.
movies.
It
were
does. It really
did they
does.
get Macaulay Culkin? They had to have
made. No,
had
Macaulay Culkin is not on it.
What?
And no
He's a-
Bruce Willis in the
No
Die
Bruce
Hard
Willis.
episode.
And,
Well, I could see them not getting Bruce Willis, but I
No
mean,
Jennifer Grey.
no Jennifer
Maca-
Grey. That's what I was
Macaulay
thinking of.
Culkin's like doing all that stuff with the angry video game nerd. So I figured
You know,
he'd be a
you know what
shoo-in.
actor they, you know what actor they did have on the Home Alone one?
Probably not Joe Pesci. Probably not Daniel Stern.
You can probably
Catherine
cross out
O'Hara.
John Candy as well, but
Probably not. Oh yeah, I forgot John Candy was in that.
that's one of the things they talk about in that
Who's John
show.
Candy
Actually, is
in
that
that?
Yeah,
he was the Polka King.
the Polka King.
Oh, I forgot all about
she
that.
she gets a ride with him to her house from wherever she's stranded.
Catherine O'Hara.
Nope.
Yeah.
Keep trying.
The kid who played
You're thinking too big.
the kid who played
Too
Big
big.
Pete on The Adventures of Pete and Pete, who was
I don't know who that is.
he played Macaulay Culkin's one of his brothers, I believe.
Which brother? Because you're getting close.
Which brother?
I don't know
The one who was a real jerk.
I believe he
They're
was
getting
the one who
closer.
was. I believe he was the one who was a real.
But
jerk.
that's who they got.
Wait, let me
Yeah.
see.
He's the single actor that's in there. I think. I think that was it.
No, they have Daniel Stern in there too.
Oh yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Sorry, Daniel Stern.
Daniel Stern's in there.
Daniel Stern's in
I
there.
forgot about that.
Okay,
Yeah.
let me. Yeah,
Just
Michael.
to say, oh my god, I can't believe this movie's so popular.
Yeah, Michael Morona, who is the guy who played Big Pete, played the character
Buzz.
Jeff. Oh,
Okay,
Buzz.
no,
Oh,
the
Buzz.
brother
Oh,
they had was Buzz.
oh, Devin Rattray.
Yeah.
Rattray?
Sure.
I don't know, but him. Okay.
Anyway, you should find time to watch them, Phil. They're great.
That guy who plays that brother, he was on the new Tick series, the Amazon Prime
Oh really?
Tick series, which
Yeah.
is fantastic. By the way,
Anyway,
Isn't
when
that
Free
over?
Guy comes out, go watch that in 2020.
I guess that's the point we're trying to make.
That's the point we're trying to make. Moving
We
on.
spent like 5 hours yesterday talking about video games.
We
Okay,
did.
we're kind of sick of talking about video games.
Well, okay. Last week was the 25th anniversary of the release of the original PlayStation in Japan.
That PlayStation
so-
sucks.
the Sony
Saturn for life.
PlayStation.
The Sony PlayStation.
Right,
So
right.
a bunch of people were tweeting about that, the whole 25 years of play thing. And the PlayStation blog has like various worldwide studios creators naming their favorite PlayStation games. So
Okay.
got folks like Corey Barlog, who wrote about Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Got Jason Connell,
was the
who
big
wrote
one.
about Shadow of the Colossus, and he's with Sucker Punch.
It's not a PlayStation game.
Shadow of the Colossus.
Isn't that a PS2
I mean,
game?
it's PlayStation Family.
It's a PlayStation Family game, yeah.
But I mean,
That's
the
what they're talking
anniversary.
about. No, they're talking about PlayStation Family games.
the brand. They're
The
talking about
brand.
brand.
Oh, well, that's dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's dumb. If it's the anniversary of the
I guess.
PlayStation, you should be talking about PlayStation games.
PlayStation.
Well, friend of the show, Brian Intihar, wrote about Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater.
What does that guy know about
Nice.
good games?
It's also not a PlayStation game.
Again, PlayStation brand.
You know,
They're-
you would think
They're
Brian's
celebrating.
a
the
pretty
brands.
smart guy. You'd think he would know that that's not a PlayStation game.
Celebrating the brand once again.
Whatever.
Yeah. But what's your PlayStation experience there? When did you get your first
What, like the
PlayStation? Your
Like that-
PS1.
that little like the PlayStation experience, like that little
No.
festival they have? I've never been to one.
When you got a PlayStation 1.
My first memory of the PlayStation is being utterly confused by that stupid ad campaign at the beginning.
Polygon Man?
No, you are
Or
not
you
ready.
are not
You are not ready. Yeah.
Why does the poster say Ernote? I don't understand.
It's extreme is what they're trying to be. Yeah.
Was it? Yeah. I don't know, man. I bought a PlayStation when it came out. I was very excited for Ridge Racer. I was very excited for, I'll admit it, Toshinden.
A lot of people like Toshinden.
Yeah.
I
was excited
you know
about
what?
Toshinden
I
also.
liked Toshinden too back in the day. It was
Yeah.
a 3D fighting
looked
game
good.
at home, and it did look good at the
looked
time.
good.
Certainly, it did.
Yep.
Everyone rags on Toshinden now, and yeah,
Well, it is bad.
of course
so
it is.
let's not
but at the
Pretend
time,
it's not.
at the time though,
Yeah.
it was pretty amazing.
It was a showpiece.
Yeah, for
Sure.
sure.
If
For
you
s- for
list all
sure.
the fighting games that came out in the late 90s, Toshinden's towards the
Especially
the top half of that list.
especially when you consider
Maybe.
how framey and buggy Virtua Fighter was on the Saturn.
How framing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, right. There's There's an old
flickery.
frame, old reference for you.
It's a
So
little
much so they had
pitchy.
to put out Virtual Fighter Remix.
Remix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although they added texture maps there too, so it was a little bit.
Yeah.
Didn't like it.
So
But
my first
Nice.
experience
I got that reference.
you got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
my first experience with the PlayStation was I got an assignment from Sendai Publications to write a book about
Oh,
PlayStation.
that's why CJ brought this up so he can brag
Yeah,
about
he
his
wants
dumb
to
book.
brag.
Yeah.
It was me and another fanzine editor, and he
Yeah.
got the Saturn book, and I got the PlayStation book. I got
Who was the
better
other
end of that
fanzine
deal.
editor?
Brian Goss.
Screw you. The Saturn was awesome.
I didn't really want to write a. See, the problem was the Saturn had already come out by that point, so we got assigned
that's true.
this thing in June, and the Saturn was already out, so it's kind of missing the window.
Pretty big deal for a
But,
12-year-old, though.
Amen
I was
to
not
that.
12. I was not 12.
Really?
You're like
like
the Sheldon Cooper
15
of games
at least.
journalism.
Hmm.
I guess
Yeah.
it's probably Patrick Klepek, but
95 was probably like 17 or 18.
Look at that.
18. But they bought the PlayStation and the games that I was going to write about, and I got to keep some of the games and the
Mm.
PS1 that they bought me. So
Nice.
Wow. Did you get paid as well, or
I got
was it-
paid too. Yeah,
paid an
my.
exposure.
I got paid
Yeah. How do you remember how much?
$5,000.
Oh, really?
Really? That's not
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
That's not bad in
Jeez, for-
1995.
No, for
Especially
like-
for a 17-year-old.
Yeah.
I know,
Seriously.
exactly.
What did
exactly? It was great.
What did you do with the money?
So I bought a
Bought a
computer.
Saturn.
I bought a computer with the money,
Okay.
and then put the rest of it like in the bank
Oh, okay.
for first year of college.
Not only were
I
you a
know.
talented teenager,
Boring.
you were boringly responsible.
Responsible. I know.
Ugh.
But so I had this Japanese PS1, and whenever a game came out, I'd use the swap trick to play American
Oh, right.
released
I was
games.
always
So
afraid
like
to do the
To
swap.
play
Wipeout
the-
came out, and
Uh-huh.
I really was looking forward to playing Wipeout, and I had to do the swap trick with.
I don't think. I mean, you look back on it now; it's hard to remember, but I don't think people remember just how impressive Wipeout was.
Oh,
Like that
at the
was
time, it was
that was at a
amazing.
whole other level. That was
a big deal.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like it
Truly.
just there was nothing like it. It looked so good.
Yep.
really did, really did. And what I ended up doing, the like little clay that you use to put posters up in your room back in the 90s.
Yeah. Poster.
I wasn't
tack.
allowed to do that.
Poster tack, yeah.
Yeah.
Poster tack. I used that to like hold down the button on the inside of the PlayStation.
Nice.
This,
Oh.
this drive door thing.
Look
But yeah,
at that.
I did not get into PlayStation until the first Formula One game from Bizarre Creations came out.
Hmm.
That was the game that got me into
Hmm.
PlayStation.
okay.
Other than that, I played Friends systems. I was all in on the Saturn.
The Friends game came out on the PS2.
That's pretty funny. My friends' PlayStations.
Okay. Now
I forgot there was a Friends game. That was a trivia game, right?
I think it was a trivia game. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Well, anyway,
Yeah.
Nintendo Switch has had its best week ever in sales. So,
What can I say except you're welcome?
What did
over
you have
the
to do with it?
Thanksgiving week, the November 24th through the 30th,
This and that.
the system sold a combined total of more than 830,000 units.
There we go.
So that's Switch
I
Lite.
guess that's
and,
okay.
Standard Switch. That's all. That's a lot. And total sales of the Switch in America is 17.5 million units.
Tell you what, it's more than the Saturn sold this week.
That doesn't make any sense.
Sick burn. I mean, it makes perfect sense.
To be fair, it's almost more than Saturn sold lifetime. But
Oh yeah, you have to compare it to something that just went on the shelves recently, like the Genesis Mini.
the Stadia.
Stadia.
Yeah.
Exactly. Anyway, we found out this week over Twitter that Phil Spencer, who's the head of Xbox, has a Project Scarlet and has brought it home and is using it.
Okay.
Like
So-
completed? A completed system?
I don't know about that. He just said that he
Seems early.
brought his Project Scarlet console home and it's becoming his primary console. So
It's becoming his primary
Yeah.
console.
it's become
Okay.
his primary console.
All right. Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does that mean they're bringing it out in the spring then or what?
I don't think so. But he's got one. So everybody over at Phil's house. Phil Theobald's house.
No. That's a different guy. I believe he's the plagiarist, right?
No, that's Philip Mewson.
Oh, right.
Mewson. Yeah.
That's right.
Yes. Mario Maker 2 got an update this week.
Yeah.
So now, as one of the big things is that you can now make courses that have Link in them from the Legend of Zelda series.
Yes.
And it's not just the sprite like Mario Maker 1 let you put other characters from other Nintendo franchises in, but it also adds some mechanics as well.
You have powers,
including like a bomb and
well, you have a sword.
So you can slash at things, which very different from Mario's attacks.
You have a bow and arrow.
Oh, really? Oh,
for long. You have. I guess I'll do this because I am the one who knows what's going on.
You do it. I have not loaded up the update.
You clearly don't know what's happening here. Finn has actually been playing with it a fair bit, making some new levels and such. So you have the Master Sword, so you can slice and dice Mario's foes.
Shake and bake.
Yes.
You can shake and bake them as well. You have a bow and arrow, which you can aim in 3 directions. Straight ahead, or 45 degrees up, 45 degrees down. You have bombs. You can plant bombs for blowing up walls and such.
Yep.
You have the little dash attack, like with the Pegasus boots attack. So if there's
that's cool.
So if there's a big lineup of Goombas or something, you can just plow right through them.
Okay.
And you have the downward.
The downward thrust. Okay.
From
downward thrust
from Adventures of Link.
Okay.
So give them a bit of the old downward thrust. If you know,
I see. Well, they also added things like pokies. So the enemy pokey is in there now,
Gumby's in there as well.
Wait, what?
The blockheads are in there as well.
Uh-huh.
All the various Spike, I believe, is Gumby's dinosaur friend. Pokey is the name of Gumby's horse buddy.
Yeah.
For all you Gumby maniacs out there.
we all get it. Yes.
Yeah.
But anyway, an update for Mario Maker 2. So that's great to see. I hope Nintendo continues to support Mario Maker 2. That would be good to see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I think we should get into what you've been playing.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah? I
guess
I'll
I mean,
start.
it was inevitable. It was going to happen sooner or later.
Sure.
Hey, I finished Pokemon Shield.
Good lad.
And by finished, I mean I saw the credits roll. Obviously, there's a lot of post-game content. Actually, I was kind of surprised that there's like post-game story in this. So I'm pleased to see that.
When's the last time you played a Pokemon game?
Oh, a long time ago.
1998.
Well, as long as you keep buying them, I don't care if you actually play them.
The last one I finished to see the end game was Pokemon XY. So,
well, that's not true. The last one you finished was Pokemon Shield.
Well, I guess
before now.
Last one before now.
Okay, that makes sense.
So, but yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with it. Charlotte decided to take over my game and do some of the post-game content and get.
How dare
Pokemon
she?
In the wild area? Yeah, I know. It's fine.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Should have bought her own copy.
She has her own copy.
Oh,
she does have her own copy.
Maybe buy her another one to encourage her to play it.
No, I won't be doing that.
Yeah.
But
just throwing it out there.
Anyway, yeah, continuing to have a lot of fun with that. Man, Hop, I feel sorry for Hop. So he's your rival in Pokemon Sword and Shield, and you have to win against him. I mean, you end up beating him a lot, and he ends up also doing poorly against gym trainers and just losing a lot. I feel so bad for Hop. He's like a tragic figure in Pokemon Sword and Shield. I feel so bad because he tries so hard and then gets crapped on. Anyway,
well, if someone's going to be the very best, someone has to be the worst.
be second best.
Yeah.
Or Yeah. I also played some Assassin's Creed Rebel Collection. So this came out on the Switch. It includes Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, which is one of
Oh,
my.
I heard you like that game.
I love that game. It's got
Really?
pirates in it.
That would explain it.
It also has Assassin's Creed Rogue, which, if you'll remember, is the installment of Assassin's Creed that came out on the last generation of consoles instead of the next generation of consoles after Black Flag. So they've continued to make Assassin's Creed for the previous gen only, although they did re-release Rogue later on for other consoles. Now they're doing it on the Switch. So, and it follows some of the same ground that Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag follows, including the whole pirate thing. So I'm totally into that. And I started.
Now we know what you're going to be playing on that plane ride.
Yeah, really.
It looks great actually on the Switch.
Well, it should.
So
It's a pretty old game.
pretty pleased with it. Yeah. But anyway, that's all I've been playing. So we'll move on to Greg because I know you got something big here.
Speaking of old games, I played some Shenmue 3 actually last week. I didn't play it this week because I played enough of it last week. Yeah, it's Shenmue.
But you like Shenmue.
I liked Shenmue. You know what the problem? So the problem with this game is, I mean, there's lots of problems with this game. But the biggest problem with this game is that it's clearly been designed by, I hate to say this about Yu Suzuki, because I man, he made a lot of my all-time favorite games.
Yeah.
Clearly designed by someone who hasn't made a console game in 20 years.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because like if you're looking for more of what Shenmue was in 1999, 2000, 2001, you know, this is that for sure. But it feels like that without, because it feels like that without the unlimited budget. I mean, you need to remember that Shenmue is, you got to lay some of the blame for Sega getting out of the console arena at the feet of Shenmue, because they spent a ton of money on that game because it was Yu Suzuki and they just gave him a blank check basically. But so it feels like those games did 20 years ago, but without the unlimited budget. So there's clearly been corners cut all over the place. Everything just feels a little bit rough and everything just feels really, really old. And I think it's made worse by the fact that, I mean, you know, back then we can look back at Shenmue now, and even when it came out, yes, it was awkward. It was an awkward game to play. But that was before we knew we didn't want sort of that level of granularity in the gameplay, and because just having an open world and a real-time world was such a novel idea. It wasn't something we'd see. You know, this was before Grand Theft Auto 3 and before all those other games that aped that. Yeah, you know. So there was that. So this doesn't fit based on the fact that genre has evolved so much. But Yakuza actually, I think, is the main reason why this game doesn't feel good enough. Because we've said this before on the show, Yakuza is the evolution of Shenmue. It's not, it's not the same series or anything.
Not the story.
But you can directly trace the framework of the Yakuza series to Shenmue.
Yeah.
So the fact that those games are so good and have been so well refined at this point.
And not to say that those games don't still have, you know, cruft that feels old.
Sure.
In terms of game design.
But they're still so good.
Yeah.
Shenmue just looks creaky and old. It's a real shame. And then you've also lost, you know, the Sega branding. Actually, there is some Sega branding around. You actually do see the name Sega in there, and you will see like posters of old Yu Suzuki games all over the place. But you go into an arcade, of course, none of them are there. And
this doesn't have pictures of Kickstarter backers. Well, does it?
No.
Okay, good.
So I only played it for like 4 or 5 hours. it's, and the other thing I got to say I can't believe is, he waited 20 years, did a Kickstarter. Yep. Because I always thought the biggest shame was, even I was a Shenmue fan for the first one. Shenmue 2, I bounced off of pretty fast. I did play through it a few years back, mostly because Kevin Larrabee was doing some Shenmue stuff on back in my play. Shenmue 2 was, but if you remember Shenmue 2, or Shenmue in general, was like this massive, epic 16-part story. That the biggest shame always was that he never got to finish it. Right. Like he never got to finish it. So, that was kind of the big deal. And I've said this before, where I think Yu Suzuki, for all his faults as a game developer and designer in this game, his name is right up there with like Miyamoto. As far as I'm concerned, he created some amazing classic all-time greats.
Yep.
And I feel like he's earned the right to complete his magnum opus, right? Whether you like it or not. But he didn't complete it. This isn't the end.
No.
This ends on another cliffhanger, apparently. So it's like, really? Like, you get the chance after 20 years and you don't complete it? Like, what?
Right.
What are you doing? So yeah, just it's a shame. I know some diehard fans are happy with this. I'm not really. I haven't been.
It is more Shenmue. You're talking about all the old school stuff. Isn't that part of what makes Shenmue? No,
I don't think so. No, because
Okay.
it was trailblazing a genre back then, so it was awkward, and but I personally feel, looking at it in the context of when it came out, that was okay.
Mhm.
But it's the genre itself has evolved so much. You can't pretend that doesn't exist.
Right.
It's because at that point, then you're saying that Shenmue's brand is terrible gameplay, which, maybe you can say that now, but
maybe it is,
but it shouldn't have been, and it didn't need to be.
Yeah.
The other thing too, I will say, and for as much as I played, I feel it's a real shame, because based on where Shenmue 2 ends, you're in like this tiny mountain village in China, which looks really nice, but it's not all that interesting. Whereas I think back to like Shenmue 2, a big chunk of Shenmue 2 took place in like Kowloon, which was a fascinating setting. And it's too bad. And maybe in Shenmue 3 they get to something as interesting too, but Kowloon is such an interesting place anyway. Like, I would love to see someone do another game based in the walled city, because I think that would be just incredible. And it's like, you don't even have anything that interesting to roam around in this game at the beginning anyway. So I don't know if and when I'll actually go back to it, but overall, I'm glad he got a chance to make it. I'm sad that he missed the opportunity to finish the story.
Yeah.
Because I doubt there'll be another one.
Mm-hmm.
I heard it didn't perform at all. So, yeah, it's pretty disappointing overall, I think.
It's a shame.
Yeah, it is.
I just remember because we used to sit next to each other at EGM, and I think you were either reviewing or previewing Shenmue, and you had the volume up on your TV, and I could not believe some of the lines that were coming.
And that's
the English dub on Shenmue 1 was just
and I think that was a product of, I want to say that Suzuki insisted that the English VO be recorded in Japan.
Yeah,
really?
something like that.
Which
Mistake.
sort of amounts to, he calls out one of the problems, but that's actually something else I wanted to call out. Like, for as stilted and weird as the conversations and dialogue were in the first two Shenmue games, like, it's even worse in Shenmue 3.
Oh,
and I'm not just talking about like wooden voice acting, because I actually think some of the voice acting is better, but they'll have very non sequitur reactions to things you say, like and I can't
that seems like a Shenmue thing though,
but
too.
it's like, I'm looking for I'm gonna say sailors because that's Shenmue thing. I'm looking for sailors, and then like the person who's responding to you will they're still talking about what you're asking for, but like the pronouns are all wrong or something. Like it's just a really weird. It looks like it's a dialogue tree that wasn't quite refined. So it's like it's like a pool of answers they could use to a pool of questions that don't really match up, but are kind of about the same thing. And yeah, it's really bizarre. It just it doesn't feel finished. It feels old.
Yeah,
it's a real shame.
All right.
Still more exciting than Death Stranding, though.
Ouch.
Just kidding. No, it's not.
Ouch.
That's it.
All right.
That's all I've been playing.
Phil, what do you got?
I've been playing a fair bit of Shenmue 3, and I'm actually kind of liking it. Which is weird because I really didn't like the first two. So
That is weird.
Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe something struck a chord with me this time around. So good on you, Shenmue man.
Suzuki.
I believe it's Shenmue man. No, I did not. I did not play. I didn't play Shenmue. You know what? I actually have not had much time to play anything really this week. So the stuff I've played, it's all kind of older stuff that I've just been playing in the brief cracks that I've had available. I've been playing some more Picross on the Switch. Picross S3, which I've realized that I've never actually finished.
Wow.
I haven't. I didn't complete all the puzzles, so I'm going back and going through that. I still have probably about half of them to go, so that's fun because I do love me some Picross. I've been playing a little bit of Earth Defense Force 5. Remember EDF?
I do.
EDF 5 came out a while ago, and I played some of it, and then got distracted by something else and left it to fester, and now I'm going back and picking that scab. So I am enjoying that game. Finn and I have been playing it. He gets a real kick out of EDF. Just
the giant bugs
and hearing all the chatter. I've reached a point, and it's still pretty early in the game because I mean EDF games have like 1 million levels, but they have the aliens, or they in this scenario, but they have stopped sending insects right now, and they are sending giant anthropomorphic frogs. Yes, you have this giant mothership over the city, this kind of Independence Day style city-sized mothership, and these transport ships are coming out with these giant storage pods attached to the sides of them, and you can see these massive frog men inside it, and then of course the tubes open up and the frog men fall down, and they have giant rifles, and they're stomping around the city, hiding behind buildings and blasting the hell out of you. And you guys have played EDF games, right?
Oh yeah.
So the chatter in this game, the chatter in all the EDF games is just kind of nonsense. You get the soldiers yelling at each other, and they start singing songs, and they're these giant monsters. They never referred to them as giant ants or giant spiders.
Right.
They seem to go out of their way to never say, oh, they look like giant ants attacking us. It's always just these strange looking monsters. But on this level, when it starts up, the giant frogs start dropping down, and suddenly it's like the aliens are sending monsters that look just like humans. And humans, giant humans.
Must be Shenmue 3.
They have a head with 2 eyes and a mouth, and they walk on 2 legs like humans. They look exactly like us. And they have giant webbed feet and hands and giant big frog
like humans.
heads.
That's a frog.
It's a giant frog, fellas. What's going on? But it's very amusing too because the Finn was getting a kick out of this because the ants and the spiders, when you shoot them or they blow up, there's kind of a spray of blood. And in EDF 5, at least, I don't know if there's a setting you can adjust, but the blood is purple in this one. But you know, there's this, you know, there's kind of a explosion, a bloody mist, and then it just kind of disappears. But holy crap, the frogs, because you can target individual limbs of the frogs. So if you shoot one of their arms, the arm blows off and just blood just starts spraying out like an old samurai movie.
That's great.
And you know, if they're standing next to a building, the building just gets splattered and coated in just purple ooze. And it takes a lot to kill them too. So it's like you can
they don't bleed out quickly.
No, they absolutely
the
do
volume not. The volume of blood coming out of them, they should have been dead.
I've shot a couple of them. Like I'll blow both their legs off and they'll crumble to the ground and they'll be just, you know, a torso with arms and just their legs are all over the place, blood spraying everywhere. And I'm just like, okay, I killed that guy and I'm running past it. And then all of a sudden I'm getting hit and I look and the frog is now propping itself up with one of its arms and shooting at me with its giant rifle. So I have to start blowing up its arms, which just causes more spray everywhere.
Sure.
And
like you do.
By the end, the field is just littered with frog legs all over the place, and just, you know, everything is purple. And Finn was cracking up at just how ridiculous it was. So kudos to you, EDF 5.
The developers there know what they're doing.
Oh, they absolutely do.
Yeah, but I do
just
love,
like us.
I wonder if that's a conscious decision to not say frogs or ants.
Oh, it absolutely has to.
I mean, it probably has to be, but
yeah,
I love how in media, whether it's like a TV thing or a video game thing, like, you know, The Last of Us, they don't call the clickers zombies.
Right.
Ever. Even though if this was a real story and this really happened, people would be like, zombies.
Oh yeah, there's zombies all over the place, but nobody.
They never call it that. It's
nobody's like, we got to kill the giant frogs. So
yeah,
we don't want to.
This is the whole reson why you brought this up.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Use your Kermit the Frog puppet.
Killing giant frogs? That's horrible.
Frog legs all over the place.
Why would you kill a frog? That's horrible.
You can open up a new chain of frog leg restaurants.
Oh man. That
you're just making me sad for Big Bird and Oscar the Grouch.
Oh yeah, Big Bird.
We lost Carol today. It's very sad. And
you should sing your
you're still
sad
using
song.
the puppet for that.
What? Why wouldn't I be sad? I lost Big Bird today. Why are
there it is
so many songs about buttholes? Buttholes are covered with poo.
Oh my god.
Oh, why?
Why not? I say.
Now, when you pull a limb off, does purple?
There's only one way to find out. I feel bad for all the people not watching this on YouTube.
I know. God.
You're missing some primo visual gags here, folks.
Is it over?
I don't know. Is it? Moving right along.
Oh, there we go.
There you go.
Excellent.
There you go.
Wow.
Yep. How you guys doing?
Are we up to tweets now?
I don't know. Are we?
I think it's time for tweets. Yeah.
See, I could have had Kermit do it had I not thrown the puppet away. And I certainly can't just do the voice without the puppet because that would be nonsense.
Yeah, that's just weird.
Naturally.
Okay, here we go.
You can do it. You can do it, Phil.
Tweet-a-dee-dee-dee, a tweet-a-dee-dee-dee, tweet, 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 tweet.
All right.
He rocks in the treetop all the day long.
Let's do this one from Hacker Alias Very
song.
Very Gaming, who says, I've never played an FMV game before.
What?
You guys seem to like them so much. Where's a good place to start?
We like them ironically. They're not really that good.
True.
He's not wrong.
No,
Not
I mean
wrong.
my love of those games is purely nostalgic. Although there are some good games.
Like what?
I have trouble naming any of them.
Like what?
But no, my love of them is purely nostalgic. I loved the Sega CD, and they were a huge part of the Sega CD. So
Yeah.
actually, Double Switch. I just got my copy of Double Switch,
Oh,
25th anniversary, and actually just got a shipping notice for my copy of Corpse Killer 25th anniversary. So
Yeah.
a lot of the digital picture stuff's being re-released. I really, really, really want them to re-release Sewer Shark.
Yeah.
Personally. But
That's
no, I mean they're
that's
terrible.
Sony, right?
Sony had the rights to that one.
Yeah,
Yes.
we had
Right.
this discussion recently. So
Yeah.
We did. But actually,
terrible.
like,
I
especially
mean-
since a few of the storefronts are probably going to have holiday sales, some of these might be on sale again because,
yeah,
Night Trap and
they're all available
Double
digitally. Yeah.
Switch
yeah.
are available on PSN and probably Xbox and
Yeah.
the eShop. So
That would be the best thing to do. Watch for them to go on sale.
yeah,
If the Black
Corpse
Friday
Killer.
sales are over, the year-end sales are on. Yeah, I
Dragon Slayer.
recommend. I mean, Dragon Slayers are kind of a different beast, but
yeah.
like it's not really the same thing as you get with like a Corpse Killer or a Night Trap or a
Right.
Double
That's
Switch.
true. That's true.
I recommend Night Trap just because that's kind of the one. If you like
that's
that,
the big one. Yeah.
you're gonna like them. If you don't like that, you're not gonna like these games.
Right.
That's true.
So, although I also, I mean, like, there are other, like Her Story.
Oh
is
yeah.
apparently
yeah.
quite good.
Yeah.
Story Erica, which came out on
Yeah.
I
the
have not played
PS4.
that, but like, there's The Bunker, which I've heard is decent.
The Bunker. Yeah.
I just
Late
got another
Shift.
one that I ordered.
Late Shift is on Game Pass, I think. Actually.
Oh, is it?
Really?
Yeah.
I just got another one recently. The shape-shifting detective. So I mean, the thing is that we sort of group in full motion video games all in one genre, and they aren't.
Right.
Like like you said something like Dragon's Lair, or you could look at like Road Adventure, which is amazing. Space Ace, Time Gal, those types of things. Like they're all sort of very arcadey, they're Simon Says games basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas something like Night Trap and Double Switch is basically Night Trap with a budget.
Yeah.
Right.
And they have concurrent streams of video where different things are happening and you need to jump around to them and trigger traps, whereas like something like a Corpse Killer or a Sewer Shark are shooters. So they're very different genres within this one sort of group that's been lumped together. And actually the reason I'm bringing that up is because I actually just got a copy of the shape-shifting detective, which sort of puts me in the mind of things like Sherlock Holmes consulting detective, which were also early FMV games. It actually came packed in with the Sega CD, the first one.
I'm looking up shape-shifting detective because I have no idea what that is. Oh, is this a nudity game?
I don't think so.
Really?
Not that I've seen yet. The limited run sold it, so I'm guessing
That doesn't mean anything.
I suppose it's true. Yeah.
I just typed it into Google and there's a picture of a woman about to take off her bra.
I'll get a hold of Ethan and see if it's a
Off her
booby game.
Brazier.
Oh.
Well, it's a murder, and the woman who was murdered was found naked. You don't see her naked, but she was found naked.
Okay.
So maybe that's it.
Okay.
All right.
But yeah, I mean, there's, I would say CJ's right. Look for something cheap, and most of these games are available digitally anyway. So
Yeah,
there will probably be some kind of holiday sale in December where you'll be able to get these for next to nothing. So
yeah, really.
do that. All right,
Yep.
let's do this one from Hacker Alias Insipid Ghost, who says, "What do you think of the 2 SKU approach for next generation? The idea that Sony or Microsoft might launch with an S and X version at the same time, similar to phone markets. Is this good or bad?"
Similar to Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. Does anyone remember that was the case?
Well, Xbox 360 had the arcade. Yeah, you're right. The arcade and the full Monty.
And same with PS3.
Same with PS3. Well, PS3 was the difference was like 20 gig and 60 gig.
And Wi-Fi.
Oh, you're right.
The 60 gig had Wi-Fi.
Oh,
Yeah, but it wasn't a matter of console power, I think is what
No,
this
no, I
question
know
is
that. I'm
getting
just
at.
saying that. I mean, it's not unprecedented.
Right, but of course, Microsoft's strategy later in the Xbox One's life became the One S and the One X, and if they do
Sony
the
with
sort of
Pro.
room and Sony with the Pro, yeah, and if they do this sort of approach that's being rumored, they'll have like a low spec console and a high spec console for Scarlet.
I don't like that they're starting out that way. If that's the case, if they start out that way, I'm not a fan, because I mean, the whole idea of the multiple SKUs in this generation was to refresh and do sort of interim power updates, especially to take advantage of 4K.
Right.
Yeah, I don't like the idea of the multiple SKUs at launch, personally.
Yeah.
Well, to me, it depends what your top end and bottom end look like.
Well, I guess that's true. I mean, I guess so.
That
What the
came out
differences
wrong.
are.
Like you don't know what Stewart's
That
bottom end doesn't look like.
Came out wrong. No, but I mean, if we're thinking of in the next generation of consoles being very expensive, which isn't something a lot of people are discussing, but is very likely to be the case, because you're talking about SSDs, very high speed transfers on things, and that could make them expensive consoles.
Yeah.
It would probably be a good idea to have something that can get people in the door at a lower cost. And in terms of what Microsoft is offering anyway, with Game Pass and Project X Cloud, like if they offer a lower cost console that you can stream games to that look pretty good, or
Do you want better? And we've been talking about this for years, and I still think it's the way to go. Sign up for 3 years of Game Pass and xCloud, get your console for free.
Well, they're already doing that with.
I know, and
I mean,
they should be doing it next gen.
I bet you they will.
If you're going to adopt the cell phone model, adopt the cell phone model.
That would be cool.
I bet you they will. But when the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 launched, the other consoles, like there wasn't really like a good place for the value conscious customer to come in the door with that stuff, right?
That's true.
So thinking about it that way, like if these consoles are going to be, let's say, $599, then it's probably worth doing like a lower spec version, so that people can still enjoy games and services on.
If they're that expensive, it's probably worth me hanging on to my old consoles a while longer.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be super interesting to watch how Microsoft and Sony approach this next generation. Because as far as I know, there has not been a rumor about Sony doing this same sort of thing. The only thing has been, Microsoft introducing a high end and a low end model.
Okay.
So, we'll see. Hacker Alias Reckoner VR says, is VR going anywhere? It's not the focus of gaming for now, of course. And perhaps it never will be, but having the ability to enter a game holds a special kind of attraction. What do you guys think?
Absolutely agree. I love VR.
Yeah, same here. I hope it doesn't go anywhere.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I hope it continues to be a part of PlayStation. When they go into the next generation. I mean, I think VR hopefully will just keep getting better and better, and a lot of the older games that have done well and are good experiences will hopefully get ported to the new stuff when more people come in, right? So that if you've never played Job Simulator and you're buying a new console that has VR as an option, you get that, or Astrobot or whatever it is, right?
Yep.
So
Yep.
yeah, I would love to see VR have like a killer app. Maybe that's Half-Life Alex.
I doubt it.
But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Hacker Elias Rich Grisham says, what feature would have to be missing or otherwise not announced that would make you not buy a PlayStation 5 or next Xbox at launch? I'm in on both day one because of the promise of so many titles available, both new and classic, thanks to the Game Pass and PS Now services.
What feature would have to be missing or not announced to make me not want it?
Yeah.
Compatibility with controllers. Because how else would you play the game?
Your mind, man,
Oh, well,
like Atari wanted to do.
never mind.
For me, it all comes down to what that launch lineup and
Yeah.
launch period lineup is. I'm probably going to get both at launch anyway, but in terms of which one I'm more excited about, it's going to come down to what titles are available.
I'm seriously not sure I would get both at launch.
I can almost guarantee you I will not.
Yeah.
Which one at this point would you go with what we know and don't know, which is mostly don't know about
I was going to say,
each
what do we
company's
know?
strategy is?
I really don't know. It really will come down to, I mean, based on how the last couple of years have gone, I'd be leaning to the PlayStation side. Just because the PlayStation 4 has had more games.
Though, even with Game Pass and
no, but the thing is Game
all
Pass
that
is
stuff
great.
too.
But if Game
Yeah.
Pass is filled with games you want to play,
Spider-Man 2 is going to be on Game Pass.
yeah.
But
that's
Game
what I'm
Pass-
saying.
Uncharted
if-
5 is going to be on Game Pass.
If Game Pass is going to include first-party Microsoft titles, which now includes a lot more studios,
It does.
for-
It does.
or quote unquote
First party
free.
Microsoft does include more studios, but the output still hasn't been
Is it-
great the last couple of years.
Astrobot's going to be
So-
on Game Pass.
That's what I'm saying. So
No,
I mean,
going
yeah.
going by the last 18 months, let's say, or 2
Yeah.
years, I'm leaning towards PlayStation. Now something could completely change. Maybe maybe what Microsoft has done with their first parties, they have an amazing launch lineup, and maybe they have a very attractive pricing scheme too, like what we were just talking about. I mean, all those things could happen.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, then I might lean Microsoft's way.
but you're still
mean-
pretty firmly in the Microsoft or in the PlayStation camp.
like Microsoft first party stuff has not done anything for me. I'm
Except
like
for Forza.
Forza Horizon 4. I played for a few weeks and then turned it off, and that was like
Yeah.
one of my all-time favorite series. The Forza games themselves are good,
What
but
about
I
the
actually
new Halo Infinite.
I didn't like the last Halo.
Yeah,
Halo is kind of it really needs to be turned around. in a
although
big
Halo
way.
is having a bit of a resurgence in the last week with Halo Reach coming out on Steam and having like over 100,000 concurrent players.
That's awesome, and that
Yeah.
makes me happy. But for me personally, it doesn't do much for my love of the series. I already know I love Halo Reach,
Okay,
and
well,
if
yeah.
I'm in playing it again, is great. But it also reminds me how much I didn't like the previous Halo game,
Halo 5.
and even Halo 4, really. So,
Hmm.
yeah, I mean, Crackdown 3, I did not get into that at all. I haven't played Gears 5 yet. So their first party has this generation for me has struggled. It really peaked early and then has struggled since.
All right, let's do this one from Hacker Alias RJ Bubble, who says, as someone who just bought a PSVR, what games would you recommend and what should
Astrobot.
I avoid?
You should avoid not playing Astrobot.
Yeah, Astrobot's awesome. Moss is great.
Oh, yeah.
Fisherman's Tale, I think is really cool.
Yeah.
Highly recommend Thumper in VR.
Oh, but Audica, which I talked about a couple weeks ago,
Space
is
Channel
amazing.
5,
Which
when
is
that
not out yet.
when that
Which is
hits,
not out.
I'm just gonna say when that hits, be all
Beat
over
Saber.
that. Beat Saber.
If you like Rick and Morty, Trover Saves the Universe is.
What about Rick and Morty
a lot of
virtual
fun.
There is
reality?
actually virtual realities out there too.
virtual
yeah,
reality.
that is also true. But you know what? I'll say this though. I liked Trover more.
Oh yeah,
I liked Trover more than the actual Rick and Morty game. Yeah,
just came out for the Switch, by the way,
I know. I saw that.
and the Xbox.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Nice.
Rush of Blood is really good. It's talking about earlier stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The Batman Arkham VR experience I really liked a lot
Oh yeah.
personally.
What was that Farpoint game? Did
I
any
never
of you
played
try
that.
that?
Never played that.
Try that.
No.
Somebody's made a couple of shooters that have been good on PSVR.
If you like the Ace Combat series, which you
Mhm.
should because Ace
Mhm.
Combat is pretty great. Ace Combat 7 has a limited VR mode. It's just a few levels in VR, but it is pretty mind blowing.
Highly recommend Star Trek as well.
Oh,
yeah.
That
the
is a
bridge.
ton of fun.
Bridge was it Bridge Simulator?
Bridge Simulator or
Bridge Crew?
Bridge Simulator,
Crew.
I think it is.
Crew. No, Bridge
Okay.
Crew.
Okay.
Bridge Crew Simulator crew.
Plus there's Tetris Effect and Res.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
both of
Oh
those.
yeah. My
Both
God.
of those are
yeah.
playable in VR and great in it.
And you know what? I mean, on top of all the things that we're saying, like those are starting points. There's a ton of content
Yeah,
There
for
is.
sure.
for the PSVR.
I would with PSVR, I'd be wary of anything that's free or super cheap that's not on sale. Like a $5 PSVR experience is probably not going to be great. Like but also they have do they still have the free demo discs? There used to be like 2 volumes of
I have
demos
no
that you
idea.
could basically get.
You can download those.
Yeah, you can download them. They used
They're
to
on
be
the store.
on the store.
Yeah.
I don't know if they are anymore, but
Seriously though, Astrobot is top notch. And try Audica. Well, you know what?
Get some Move controllers as well.
that's what
You
I was
gotta
just about
have
to
them.
say, because like Audica and Beat Saber require 2 Move controllers. So you
apparently
will need
that
those.
new it's like it's not really a shooter. I don't know how to describe it, but it's a newer game coming out. It's supposed to be really good.
Super Hot is in
Super
VR.
Hot, yeah, that's in there too. But it's like a last I remember seeing it. It's like you're riding in a car and it's like a police chase or something.
Yeah.
And you're controlling the guns, like you're actually shooting.
Oh, nice.
I'm hearing it's really great.
Is it Lucky and Wild VR?
Yeah, that's what I want to think it is. That's where my head's going. But,
Yep.
Man.
Anyway, just loads of content. But all those games
Yeah.
that we were firing out there, I mean, they're all worth jumping into. But Astrobot, I agree with Phil, is probably the one to jump into.
Yeah. Although Man Moss
Oh
is
yeah,
pretty.
Penn and Teller. There's the Penn and Teller.
Oh yeah, the
VR
Penn and
game.
Teller game.
Oh,
Great, thank you, Andrew, in the chat.
Yeah.
yes, indeed.
So there you go.
All right, let's wrap up with this one from hacker alias Happy Canard, who says, "What reality of gaming today do you think 2009 you would have been most surprised about? The internet angrily demanding the return of loot boxes, maybe, as in Rocket League this week?
Angrily demanding the return of loot boxes?
Apparently. So Rocket League changed out their monetization from, they were doing loot boxes before, and they changed it to being just a straight up, you're paying cash for the items, and the items were higher priced. They weren't like super cheap.
Because how that works?
Now you are paying a real cash price for a specific item.
Right.
And it was more expensive than just buying loot boxes. So people apparently want them to return in Rocket League, which is hilarious.
Well, there you go. The market has spoken, I suppose.
Yeah.
Loot boxes are back for good.
I'm going to say reality of gaming today that I'd be most surprised about is crossplay and cross progression in games. And I think we're only at the beginning of that voyage, shall we say, in games, where I think multiplayer, a lot of games from companies like Ubisoft and EA are still kind of platform locked, which is unfortunate, because I think the larger pool of players you have to play against, it's a better thing for the community overall, right? And the fact that Microsoft pushed the Play Anywhere thing and had its console studios make PC versions that also could play together. You got Crackdown, you got Gears, you got Sea of Thieves that all do that. Just benefits all of those platforms. And I want to see cross-play, cross-progression just become a thing that we don't even have to worry about in the next generation. But I think, going back to 2009, I never would have thought that would be a thing. It was always multiplayer games on each platform were just locked to whatever system it was
on. I think for me, the biggest thing that 2009 me would be surprised about is services like Game Pass, where you're playing like high budget AAA gigantic games.
Yeah.
Streaming or even being able to download them as part of a monthly charge service.
Right.
That I did not see coming. I don't think I would have seen coming in 2009. The crazy different monetization. I don't think I've been surprised by that. I've been surprised by sort of some of the forms it's taken. But, you know,
Mhm.
I mean, I think it was even starting to be clear back then that nickel and diming everyone was the way to go
Right.
for a lot of these games. So it's unfortunate, but not surprising.
You know, kind of tying into the last question, I think 2009 me would be pretty shocked that virtual reality is now a thing that is
Right.
easily obtained in your home
Yeah.
and
Don't need a special room for it.
affordable and like good quality. Because I mean, you know, we've all, you know, been involved with and followed the video game industry for a long time, and there have been a lot of false starts
Yes.
on VR. I mean, like
like 30 years ago, 40 years ago.
Right.
Sega
Yeah.
didn't they announce a VR thing for like
Yep.
the Genesis
They
back
did,
in the day?
yes.
Early 90s. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there was, you know, you had that, and then you had like the giant you know, arcade setups like the like Dactyl Nightmare
Yep.
and some of those real early like kind of Lawnmower Man looking crap.
Yep.
I mean, the fact that the Lawnmower Man movie exists.
I think it's
Was-
worth I think it's worth mentioning too, going back to the Sega thing, is that wasn't just announced. I mean, it was prototyped. Like
Was it
there
really?
are
They
there are
had
people
it
out
at
there
the
that have
CES.
played it.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, yes.
That's
So
crazy.
that's how close it came.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now that it's actually a thing and it's pretty great looking, you know, all things considered, you know, considering we're still in kind of the infant
Yeah.
stages of it. But yeah, that's pretty mind-blowing.
That's true.
So
All right.
also that I would help kill Nintendo Power.
Good job on that.
I would not have
That you wouldn't be involved in the.
would not have thought of that back in 2009.
Death of yet another beloved.
That I'm gonna be I'm gonna be walking out the door on the day Nintendo Power shuts down.
Yeah.
Shut it all down.
Feels like, oh, this is my dream job. Oh.
There it goes. There it goes. So
All right. I think that's where we should shut it down.
shut it all down.
Forever.
Nope.
Well, for this decade,
So
kind of.
close.
Since we have
Except
one more
for the
episode to,
Episodes
except for the
we've
episode
recorded. Yeah.
we
That doesn't work
recorded
at all,
and
CJ.
Yes.
we'll record. I
This
guess
is
you're
our
right.
last
That's
live episode.
Yeah.
The
right.
remaining
Doesn't mean that there won't be episodes
there will be.
after this. There are going to be every week.
Because it's us.
Well, have we
Yeah,
said
we don't take a week off.
have we said what the episodes are?
No, we haven't.
Okay.
We
I
could.
don't think we have. So do
I
we
don't-
want to?
I don't know. You're
Why
the
not?
host.
Yeah, I think we should.
Host with the most blowst.
So next week
Next week.
is going to be the Game of the Year show.
Best games of 2019.
Scientifically proven
2019.
to be the
Yes.
5 to 15 best games of the year.
Yeah, and we
Yes.
have yet to record that one. So
Yes.
who knows what's going to happen in that one. And then the following 2 weeks, it's a two-parter, our games of the decade.
Which decade?
This decade.
2010.
I
through
prepared the
2019.
1970s.
Oh,
I prepared my best
damn.
games of the 1970s.
Well, I know that's not true because we already recorded it.
Womp womp.
Way to
That
kill
joke
the
doesn't
illusion.
work. Ah.
By the way,
Uh,
I'm willing to release the list early to the highest bidder. Go.
Oh, yeah.
But all of those episodes are premiering on YouTube at the usual streaming time, and then the audio will be available on Monday night,
Yep.
just like normal.
And
So-
all those episodes will also have Patreon exclusive
After
bonus
shows.
after shows.
Yes.
That's
So-
true. We
Yeah.
recorded after shows for all these,
Yes, we did.
amazingly enough.
Yep.
Well,
but
CJ's on safari.
yeah. Well, I'm
Mm.
out of the country. Yeah.
Mm,
If I don't get eaten by lions, we'll have some.
Oh, don't let that happen, please.
You're more in danger of
hope
being eaten by a hippo.
Not. I know we
Yeah.
went over this.
Yes, we
Yes.
did. Well,
in the
no,
future. We went
no,
over
In
we
the
the
future, we go over.
I will bring up this point again, I'm sure, later, Christopher. But
Mm-hmm.
this is the first time you're hearing it now.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
CJ and the magic of radio.
That's right. Alrighty, and then as our show for this week, thank you very much for listening. If you have a question for us or would like to comment on something you heard, you can direct that to @P1 Podcast on the Twitters, or you can go to our internet website at player1podcast.com. There you'll find our contact information. You'll find blog entries about Sega CD stuff from Mr. Greg Stewart.
Sure.
You'll find Generation 16 episodes as they happen.
Yes, the new episode will be live for anyone who's listening to this through the app or their whatever podcast app you're listening to. New episode, Flicky, is live now. For those who are watching this live on YouTube, that will premiere tomorrow on December 9th.
Nice.
Excellent. You'll find show notes and links to all the things that we talked about during this episode, and you will also find a link to our Discord server where you can discuss video games and movies and all sorts of stuff with us and our other listeners.
If you'd like to subscribe to the Player One Podcast, you can do so by visiting player1podcast.com or by loading up the Apple Podcast application. You can also find us on Stitcher Radio. We're on Spotify. You can like us on Facebook. We're all over the place. Anywhere you listen to podcasts, there we are. Well, that's not a very good Kermit voice.
No.
Nope.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
That's how we got wrong sounding Muppets.
Well, we got wrong sounding Muppets because Jim died.
Yeah, I was going to say.
yeah.
This is-
It's
Because
not
Phil's trying too hard.
It's not because of
On
this
impression.
jackass. It's because Jim died.
Oh.
Yeah.
Way to bring it down.
Yeah. All the Muppeteers are dead. They're all dead. Frank Oz, he's next.
wow.
If I have anything to say about it.
That got dark.
Jeez, Kermit.
So let's see. We did again. I gotta write this down.
You
This
gotta
new
write it
outro is
Well,
not.
I think what's scary is that this is going to get even a tiny bit better next week, and then it's just going to fall apart in the final.
That's
2
true.
weeks.
That's true.
That's right.
I may actually
That's right.
sit down and write it out. Patreon, I guess. We go into Patreon if you like what you've heard, and how could you? And hey, if you like what you've heard, and how could you? You can go to patreon.com/P1 podcast. Throw a few shekels our way. CJ needs the money to pay for his expensive fancy lad medication.
Hacker alias Andrew Craig in the chat says you have great instincts for mouthwork, Phil.
Tell me about it.
It's in the context of you're actually a pretty decent puppeteer, but I love that.
Thanks.
Just being by itself.
Hey, you want to hear a quick story? You're going to hear
No,
a
I
quick
don't,
story. You're
but-
going to hear a quick story. So back when I was in high school, we had to take a standardized test that helped to determine what potential jobs
Oh, I've heard about these.
you were suited for. You know, it was a big multiple choice test. You'd answer the questions. They'd take that in, throw it into a Scantron machine. A couple weeks later, we would all get sheets of paper that's like, oh, you are well suited
You
to be a
should be
doctor
Janitor.
or a lawyer. You know, yeah, just whatever.
Janitorial technician, I'll have you know.
Yeah.
I'm sure that really helped with any bullying issues that were happening.
So mine came back, and I will be perfectly honest, I took it seriously. Okay, I was a bit of a goof in high school.
No shit.
True.
Are you serious?
It's true. I was a bit of a goofball.
In high school.
Class clown of the class of 93. Thank you very much.
You're old.
I most certainly am, but I was voted class clown of 93. So there it is. But I did take this little test seriously because I was genuinely, because I didn't know what I wanted to do. Not true. I actually did know what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a late night talk show host, but I also don't roll your eyes at me.
Yeah, I just rolled
Greg.
my eyes.
How dare you?
I wanted to be an astronaut too.
Okay,
So
yeah, well, I
When I was
also
5.
recognized that probably, the odds of that are low.
but I was
Oh.
in high school when I wanted that.
But I
Anyway,
wanted
go
to,
ahead.
I wanted to, see what I would get. So so I got the test results back, and all my friends are like, "Oh, doctor, lawyer, computer engineer, stuff like that." My options, they had 3 options: stuntman, mortician.
I believe they're referred to as fall guys.
Fall Guys.
Yeah, mortician was my second one.
Oh, God.
Puppeteer. Those were the
Wow.
3
Hmm.
scientifically most viable career paths for high school age Phil.
So Mortician, huh?
Yeah, well, how many magazines?
Yeah, it's true.
How many websites? So yeah, I guess. But my puppeting skills are certainly coming in handy now on the Player One podcast.
Apparently
he was wringing
so.
his neck.
There you go, Kermie.
Kind of look like that.
Oh boy,
Let's finish our outro.
I'll finish you like I finished Frank
I
Oz.
fully expect that.
So anyway, yeah, give us your money. You will, of course, if you're a $5 Patreon subscriber, get access to a weekly post show where we have fun, we crack wise, we play games, trivia contests galore.
Yep.
We have all sorts of fun. Join us, won't you? And if you have a couple bucks left over, you can head over to generation-16.com where you will find the Patreon link to help support Greg Stewart's outstanding. And you know what? He is often very rude to me, but that does not diminish the quality of his video game history coverage.
You know what, Phil? I
oh,
think
here we go.
I think
Yeah,
that you make an excellent point.
I do. You are mean to me.
That you don't need to love the people who create your content.
Yeah.
Sometimes
That's
good
true.
content is just good content.
Oh, okay. That's why you are like way into Woody Allen movies.
No.
That's why you love.
Although I did like a Midsummer Night Sex comedy.
What do you think about Roman Polanski? Pretty.
I didn't like him in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Was he? He wasn't in that, was he?
No,
I didn't see
some
that movie.
actor played him.
It's an actor
right?
probably portraying him, right?
Of course.
Okay. Well, I don't know. Maybe Quentin went off to whatever country he's hiding out in right now.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Whatever. But anyway, my point is Generation 16 is a wonderful web series about North America's favorite Sega banana, the Sega Genesis. And you should go
Also-
give Greg all your money.
Also cheap?
Also cheap. There it is.
I didn't get to say it the first time.
Go ahead and say it now.
Cheap.
There you go. CJ, just splice it up, fix it.
Magic
in
of
post.
editing.
Yeah, there you go.
I'll get right on that.
CJ,
Yeah,
enjoy your safari.
it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna
Try
be very interesting.
You're gonna be in South Africa, right?
That's right. Kruger
the-
National Park.
Country. What is it?
Kruger National Park.
Like from Lethal Weapon 2?
Kruger, like Freddy?
So a bunch of
Kruger?
elderly ladies or older ladies looking for young men.
No.
Okay.
Although I'll probably see cougars around.
Well, you can go
Like
downtown.
older
and see
ladies looking
Kroger's.
for young men,
Yeah.
I don't know. No.
or
I don't
like the
know.
animals.
The animals.
Okay. Well, have fun. Oh, keep an eye out for some of those Fukin prawns. I understand there's a lot of those in South Africa.
Okay.
CJ has no idea what you're talking
Has
about.
no idea
what
what
you're
I'm
talking about.
Really?
I don't think so.
You never saw Chappie?
No.
Oh, okay. Well,
Sorry.
You should see Chappie.
you should
Okay.
see Chappie.
I'll go watch
That's
Chappie.
from Chappie. It's right.
Watch
District,
it on the plane.
District 9.
I've
CJ.
seen
Did you ever-
District 9.
Well, that's
yes.
from. That's that.
Okay.
That's that. Do you
A
remember
long
what
time ago. I saw it a long time
it
ago.
takes place in South Africa.
I do know that. Yeah, I do know
and that's
that.
and they have the aliens that look like shrimp monsters.
Yes.
They look-
Shrimps. Yep.
They look
Shrimpies.
just like us. They look like humans. It was a callback
Okay.
to the frog thing.
Gotcha.
You know what? It's going to be nice to have you out
It's
of
gonna
the
be 20.
hemisphere.
It's gonna be 2020 before this outro is finished.
I know. It's gonna be good to have a
Man.
break from all this, right?
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
Greg Orry.
Yo.
Gregory, thank you, of course, for joining us.
Thank you, Phil.
Yeah, that's what I want to hear. And of course, thank you to our wonderful, wonderful, beautiful listeners We love you very much. Please join us next week for our pre-recorded call-in show about the best games of 2019. And then, of course, for the 2
games of
weeks
the
after that, for our
That's great.
2-part super special best 10 games, best 30 games divided by 3 people. There's going to be,
Yep.
I'll spoil something. There's going to be a little crossover between our 3 lists. Only one of us is going to talk about Sea of Thieves, though, I bet.
And it's not who you think.
You'll be pleasantly surprised. But yeah, tune in the following 2 weeks for our 2-part best games of the decade shows, and then we will see you once again live come 2020. And thanks again. We love you all. See you in the after show, Patreon buddies.
Bye.
Bye.